Hey, what's up, guys? This is Deathrow, and I'm here to bring a little info on the crystal bow and the evolution of combat. Now, before the evolution of combat, the crystal bow was pretty much disregarded. It used to be used in fight caves a lot, but now it's no longer really used because it degrades and the stats get worse. However, in the evolution of combat, Mod Mark has came out and said that the crystal bow no longer loses stats when it degrades. And so therefore we should mark it as a viable weapon, and I'm going to prove why. Now a bit about the crystal bow. There's a quest requirement for it, which is roving elves, which you have to complete. It's really not that bad. 70 range and 50 agility in order to use it, which really isn't that high. Now the crystal bow right now on the Grand Exchange is 902k, and you can actually buy it in Isowin for 900k, which I will explain in just a bit. The way you originally attain your crystal bow is when you finish the Roving Elves quest, there's a 50% chance that you get a crystal bow, which has 2 of the 10 charges left. The other 50% is a crystal shield, which I believe also has 2 of the 10 charges. To buy a crystal bow, you can go to Isolwyn, who is at the blue quest marker near the Tyrus camp, which is 900k. However, to recharge your crystal bows, you have to go north to Ilfine, who is by the 2 red marks. However, if you've completed the Prisoner of the Glorfree quest, then she's in the center of Laieta also. At the red mark, she teleports between the 2 clearings, so if she's not there yet, then you'll have to wait till she comes back. A fully charged crystal bow has 10 out of 10 charges, or 2,500 shots. Every time you use 250 shots, it goes down a charge, so 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and so on and so on. As I said before, when it went down, the stats used to degrades, but since the evolution of combat has came out, Mod Mark has said that the stats no longer degrade. Now, once your crystal bow gets to 0 out of 10, you have to recharge it. Now, like I said in the previous slide, you go to Ilfine to recharge. The first time you recharge, the cost is 900,000 coins. The second time you recharge is 720,000, the third is 540,000, fourth is 360,000, and the fifth and all the ones thereafter are 180,000 coins. Each time you recharge, you go all the way down to 0 and then you go back and recharge. If you choose to recharge before it hits 0 and fully degrades, then the crystal bow and the amount of recharging does not count to the total number of recharges. Like, for example, if I recharged it one time and then used it down to 2 out of 10, then chose to recharge it again before it hit 0, I would not be paying 720,000 for the second recharge because I've not hit 0 yet. This amount of money might seem a lot, but when you look at it over the long run, this really doesn't cost that much per shot. Now on the first charge, it costs 360 GP per shot, which is a lot at first. However, when you look, it goes down 72 GP per shot every single charge. So the second charge is 288 GP per shot, third charge is 216, fourth charge is 144 GP, and fifth charge is 72 GP per shot. Now 72 GP per shot is a lot less than paying for the charges and the bolts for a chaotic crossbow and the offhand chaotic crossbow. Therefore, if it does measure up to the level of the chaotic crossbow, it is a much better option. Now, it probably does not weigh up to the Zarite bow because that is a lot better and like 110 mil currently, but it is still a great option, as I'm about to show in this next clip where I have a Slayer task where I use the bow. These are the stats of a crystal bow in the evolution of combat. The damage is 1,415 with the accuracy of 700. It is a fast speed and it's best versus magic, as all bows are. When comparing to other bows, the chaotic crossbow has 800 accuracy, which is higher accuracy than the crystal bow. The damage that a chaotic crossbow is completely determined by the bolts you use, and can also be times by 1.5 if you're using an offhand chaotic crossbow. Its speed is also fastest, so its speed is better than the crystal bow. However, the damage with an offhand is supposed to be 150% of a normal bow, whereas a two-handed bow is 150% also. So therefore, they should have the same damage output. It's all determined down by how it hits, as I will show in later Slayer clips. Another bow to compare to it is the Zarite bow, with 1,510 damage and 800 accuracy, and is fast. Now, Obviously, the Zarite bow is better, but it's about 110 mil more. So if you have the money, you can go and get it. But if you don't have the money, the crystal bow is a very viable option. In this clip, you can see me doing a duo slayer task with my friend. We're doing greater demons who are supposed to be weak to bolts. He's in full armor with 99 range and dual chaotic crossbows. He's also using broad bolts, steel titan, and overloads. I'm using extreme range potions. I'm in royal d'hide with 87 range, and I'm using the crystal bow. As you can see, and I'm going to show kills wise, as you can see on the screen right now, I'm doing just as much damage, if not more damage, than he actually is. And for the record, I'm using momentum right now. This bow is very powerful, and as you can see, it just takes a few hits to kill these greater demons. Now, it may look like it takes longer to kill these greater demons than it did before the evolution of combat, but that's just because it generally takes longer, because you range it. They're weak to range, and if you can see this guy using melee, we would easily beat out the guy using melee, so range is the best method. Overall, I strongly recommend using the crystal bow. It's very powerful, and even though the cost seems high at first, as you recharge it more and more, the cost goes down, and it turns into quite a viable option. I personally think it has better DPS than any chaotic crossbow dual wielding, and especially when you have a higher range level with Steel Titan, you'll be easily wrecking your opponents very quickly. I wreck them semi-quickly, but that's because I have 87 range, but I'm still on par with a guy with 99 range and completely better gear in dual chaotic crossbows. I strongly recommend you giving this new weapon a shot, and I call it new because it pretty much has been completely changed around, and you can continue. I'll play some more of me killing him, and you can just watch and see how you like it. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, I'm just starting up this channel, and I'll be posting more guides and just random videos. I'm also going for max. I'm a bit off, like pretty far away, but I really want to get into video making. So if you liked it, just let me know. I'm not gonna ask you to necessarily like it, but if you did, you can. I mean, just leave a comment, any feedback. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learned something new.